Hi everybody, my name is Lisa, and if you're here, thank you for joining me, and commiserations with chronic pain, fibromyalgia, rheumatoid arthritis, MS, chronic fatigue, osteoarthritis. You know who you are, and you know why you're here. Long COVID. Don't forget long COVID. Now, right, this is just to try, because I've got lots of little clips coming up, and what I'm doing here is trying to make sense of what's coming up, because they all sort of happened in bits and pieces. I had a referral to pain management clinic from my GP surgery. My GP is wonderful. She's very empathetic, very, I think I've said it before, I might have said it, she's very collaborative. I can go into her and say, what about A, B, and C? And she'll give me a fair hearing. She's been honest about what there is and what they can do, but at the same time willing to help out. She's never once tried to take my meds off me or tell me, why don't you try yoga? None of that. None of it. It's always been, she's been rational, but at the same time not dismissing me. So yeah, that's great. So maybe I'm luckier in this part of the world. I'm in London, northwest London, that we have a pain management clinic, and I have a GP who was willing to refer me, but not before we ticked off everything else that was available, and then we got down to pain management. And they wanted an MRI before they would go near me. So that took a while on the waiting list. So I think the plan for the fibro started about a year ago. X-rays, MRIs, bloods, visit with neurology, visit with orthopedics. It's been a circus, which I am sure everybody else out there can sympathise with if you've been through the same process. The thing of, part of your brain is like, what's the point? But there's the part of the brain that's also saying, maybe this is the one. Maybe we have found something. There's not a cure, right? We're not getting a cure, but is there going to be something that's going to reduce this nonsense for me? No, is the short answer so far. Anyway, the first clip here is getting to see pain management. That was April. They told me about Lignacaine. I think that's the brand, but it's basically Lidocaine infusion. Lidocaine is the local anaesthetic you get basically at the dentist's. If you've ever had a filling, and your arm feel like that, that's Lidocaine. I've got one eye out the window because, oh Lord, it needs to rain here so badly. Nobody needed to know that, but just know it now. View from my infusion. Got 5 minutes left, and I don't know what to say. I don't know how to describe or give any impressions so far of how I feel. Maybe it's something that just works very gently, and it's like my mouth feels a bit numb, but my back is still hurting, my neck is still hurting, I keep yawning, I feel a bit disengaged, disconnected or something. But so far, I'll keep, as the day goes on, so this is nearly finished. I'll come off the cannula. There'll be observations for maybe another hour or something. Perfect. Come with me. Bye. So all done. So it's a little bit later on in the day. I may be 4 hours from the infusion. I can feel the pain murmuring around in the background. I don't know if that's my imagination. I can feel it just like, okay, I'm in the corner, I'm watching you. Is that the psychological side of it? That's my question. Is that this way that I have maybe personified, turned pain into a character, into this being, entity that I monitor its emotions, its state of mind, its energy, its mood? Is it in a good mood? Is it in a bad mood? Where are we? How does our relationship stand? It was interesting to talk to. There were 2 women there, and we had a very, very interesting, quick conversation. But to be in a space with somebody and say, this is my reality with it, and to have it confirmed, affirmed, and so many really similar stories about the road to a diagnosis, the length of time, medication histories, and all the rest of it. So yeah, it's been very, very interesting. Right, this little leap in the timeline is about a month post infusion, and noon. There was on the day about a 2-hour gap. Right after I finished that biscuit and cup of coffee, I thought, I need the ladies. So I got out of the bed. Now, placebo or Lignacaine? I walked like I haven't walked. I don't know if anybody else gets that, but do you shuffle? My stride, my gait is limited, so I kind of shuffle now. I walked, and I got into the little necessaries, and I thought, have we broken the sound barrier? Is this it? And I thought, no, don't say anything. Shh, say nothing. Get your stuff, go home. The lady, the consultant who's running this, is very passionate about it. I just realised I didn't have my microphone on. The consultant who's running this clinic is an anaesthetist. So I kind of got, I can't praise her enough for, I'm going to use one of the words, the vibe that she created. There was a tremendous, personable atmosphere. I felt like we were, I don't know how to describe it. There was positivity, it was warmth, it was, we want to get to know you. Who are you? Tell us about yourselves. If you've been doing this for a while, I don't know if you can identify with, oh, fibromyalgia. Okay. chronic fatigue. Have you tried CBT? Have you tried a bit of yoga? You know, do you think you might actually just be hysterical hypochondriac? Just saying, you know, have you considered these things? None of that. She took a very, I would suppose it's like a systemic, like the system is banjaxed. And her explanation of what the lidocaine and what she's trying to achieve is bashing those nerve bundles back into, now let's listen as I'm paraphrasing, bashing them back into order, putting some manners on them, telling them, you're messed up, guys, and to, at the same time, reduce the inflammation, get those nerve endings to being less inflamed, less angry, less reactive to pain signals that don't, you know, because everything is firing off and not making sense properly. It's just doing its own thing. The brakes have come off it. So she said it's not a trial, it's not a study per se, because of the way that she was saying something about how the data has been collected, whether that job isn't enough to provide enough of a data set to produce it, to get it peer reviewed and to get it published. That's, I suppose that's money, that's investment, that's time, that's staff to do all of this, to input all of this. But they are going to be monitoring people who come in, and they'll produce something that says something that may indicate something. It's not definitive proof. It's not maybe scientifically, statistically positive, or enough of a breadth to say it's statistically significant, I suppose is the word I'm looking for. Anyway, I think you can see there, I think I say later, 4 or 5 hours, whatever has happened is finished, it's gone. Disappointing. And then I thought, you know what, maybe this is something that's going to peak and you're going to have to just give it a day or so, and maybe a couple of weeks, but not really, no. My hands for a couple of days or so didn't feel as stiff and unwieldy and as uncooperative as they are in the mornings. But anyway, so she also sent us for blood tests, myself and a couple of other people that were there, and she's looking at vitamin D levels. So I got my results, lo and behold, my vitamin D's very, very low. So I did a bit of a search around, I did a bit of a reading, and there's what I can conclude is that vitamin D levels, low vitamin D levels, are maybe not a contributing factor to rheumatoid arthritis or other autoimmune conditions, but they seem to correlate with it. Funnily enough, the orthopedic guy that I saw privately for my knee, this is a whole other story, sorry for dumping, did bloods saying, your vitamin D is really low, you need to start vitamin D3 specifically. So I found some. Now I don't know with that how I'm meant to know it's working or not. I have no idea. I couldn't tell you. Whether it's just prophylactic and just listen, just see what happens. Or if there's a vitamin D level that a doctor can prescribe, that's not going to be, because that's just vitamin D3 from boots. Drop in the ocean? I don't believe in vitamins really, because you should be getting enough from your diet, sun exposure. Oh, anyway, listen, that's something else. Yeah, so that's been my journey. That's been my journey with Lidocaine infusion. Disappointing. Do I need another few goes at it? pain consultant said if it doesn't work the first time, it's not going to work. If it works, then it works. And you'll have an infusion every 3 months. What kind of, no. Listen, if it gives you relief, I suppose. There you go. Have you had this infusion? Is your vitamin D low? Love to hear. Love to know. Any feedback. Yeah. So I'm here, I'm keeping on, staying hopeful. It's not in my head. It's not in your head. Don't let anybody tell you any different. Okay. Please like, please subscribe. Love to hear from you, and come back and see me again soon. Bye for now.